Hey, I'm Markia.
Want to hear something scary?
Graveyard Smash, Part 2. Terror washed over Sina as the enormity of the situation hit her. She had revealed herself as a vampire hunter to Dylan, an ancient vampire disguised as a teen in her high school. But she had failed to stake that vampire directly through the heart. Despite years of training, she had allowed a treacherous monster to live, roam free, and no doubt he was already plotting his revenge. Fear lodged in Sina's throat, along with the realization of how much danger she was in and the disappointment it was sure to cause her parents. Somehow, she managed to walk home from the Halloween party at Old Wakefield Cemetery. She was still shaking as she threw herself onto the bed, screaming into the pillow. Exhaustion threatened to take over, but first, she reached for her phone. There were no new messages from her parents. This should have set off alarm bells, but she was just so tired. As she typed out a quick text to them. I failed. I'm so sorry. I need you. Are you almost done? C. Instantly, she looked at the screen. No new alerts. It wasn't her cell. It was always on vibrate. So where did that sound come from? Her heart rate rose again. This time, it had nothing to do with Dylan, the vampire in the graveyard. Mom, she texted. Her mom's phone was pinging inside the house, somewhere very close by. She froze. This time, it was her cell. The text came from her mom's number. Hello, Sina. Never trust a text.
It could be from anyone. By the way, your parents were delicious. Draining them gave me all the strength I needed to come and find you.
She took a deep breath and tried to focus. Her life depended on it. She quickly glanced around the room. The closet door was ajar. She always kept that shut. She could see the top of her backpack, still lying where she had dropped it on the rug beside the bed. The backpack contained several stakes, holy water, salt, and a silver dagger. Sina surged forward and recovered the arsenal, rolling over to the closet, stake now in her hand. The vampire burst out from behind her clothing, fangs bared. Snarling and hissing through deadly teeth, it was hard to remember Dylan, who had been so charming in human form. But her witnessing him killing that poor homeless guy before the Halloween party had been the final proof she had needed to know the monster behind his dimpled smile. Rage tamped down all her fear and pain. She didn't even notice the flood of tears streaming down her face. With supernatural speed and strength, Dylan threw himself at her, and they wrestled as she tried desperately to maintain her balance. He pinned her arm with the stake between the two of them, away from its intended target. He went to bite her, grazing her neck with razor-sharp fangs. She gave a whimper of defeat. Like most vampires, Dylan enjoyed seeing his victims cower, so he pulled back to witness her defeat, grinning maniacally. But it was all an act. Sina dropped the stake into her unpinned hand and plunged it straight into his fetid heart. This time, it was a direct hit, and the ancient beast who had murdered her parents gave a single gasp before its shell of skin turned black with rot and exploded into a cloud of rancid dust. Now, Sina could mourn her dear parents' demise, but also be strengthened by the fact that this would be a Halloween she would never forget. Her first Halloween as a true monster hunter.